These people are sharing sensitive information via text message and are reacting like the friend chat just decided where to go eat for dinner. Hello and welcome to This Week in Politics. Thank you for tuning in. I know you have several options for listless millennials to list political facts at you, so I am so honored that you have chosen to spend your time with me. This week, I want to go over a political scandal that has been getting some traction in the media, but I don't think has gotten the deep dive that it really deserves. I am, of course, talking about the recent bribery and corruption scandal that is surrounding Senator Bob Menendez. Menendez, if you haven't heard, is being accused of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in the forms of cash, various gifts, and get this, gold bars, in exchange for a range of favors for several New Jersey businessmen, but more importantly, for special foreign relation benefits to the government of Egypt. It is important to note that while everything I am going to reference is being pulled directly from the official indictment documents, Menendez is a US citizen. Everything I am going to say is alleged, and he is innocent until proven guilty. Please don't sue me. There are three names that I'm going to be referencing a lot. The first, obvious, Bob Menendez, senior senator from New Jersey, head of the Foreign Relations Committee. The second, his wife, Nadine Menendez. Now, at the time that most of this was happening, she was his girlfriend. For simplicity, I'm just going to refer to her as Nadine. And thirdly, Will Hana, who I'm going to refer to as Hana throughout for brevity. Hana is an Egyptian-born businessman who was conducting business out of New Jersey and living in the Garden State at the time. Now, Hana had several ties to the Egyptian government and Egyptian intelligence agencies. So, the Menendezes met in 2018 and started dating. Now, when they started dating, Nadine almost immediately started texting her friend Hana, telling her that she had access to a senator and that they could arrange meetings with Hana's associates, the Egyptian government. The two began setting up these meetings almost immediately, putting high-level Egyptian government officials and intelligence officers in front of Senator Menendez. That's kind of standard political deal-making. I know someone, you know someone, let's get them together. Now, it's a little slimy, but it's not really unethical or illegal. In 2018, Menendez met with various Egyptian government officials in a meeting that was set up, orchestrated, and attended by his then-girlfriend Nadine and Hana. This meeting happened in his Senate office with no members of either his staff or the Foreign Relations Committees present. Now, allegedly, they discussed ways in which the US government could assist Egypt with Menendez's help. Now, we don't know what was said here, so we can't say if this was a breach of intelligence processes or anything like that, but two civilians, one of which is a foreign national, meeting in a senator's office with no staff present is, at the very least, not normal. 2 months later, Menendez and Hana meet again. Later that exact same day, Menendez requests non-public information regarding the staffing of US citizens at Egyptian embassies. This information was not classified, but it was deemed highly sensitive because it could pose significant operational concerns if disclosed to a foreign government. And this is exactly what Menendez did. 1 day later, on May 7th, he texted this sensitive information to Nadine, who in turn texted it to Hana, who in turn texted it to government officials in Egypt. That same month, Hana hosted a dinner at a high-end restaurant with Menendez. And immediately after that dinner, he texted government officials in Egypt saying, "The ban on small arms and ammunition sales to Egypt has been lifted. That means sales can begin. That will include sniper rifles, among other articles." In July 2018, Menendez once again meets with these Egyptian government officials in a meeting that was organized and attended by both Hana and Nadine. The Egyptian government, in advance of this meeting, provided Menendez with briefing materials advocating the Egyptian government's ideal policy outcome and what he can do to assist it. The very next day, Menendez texted Nadine, "Tell Will, I am going to sign off on this sale to Egypt today. Egypt, 46,120mm target practice rounds and 10,000 rounds of tank ammunition. $99 million. Nadine forwarded this message to Hana, who forwarded that message to a government official. That government official responded with a thumbs up emoji. An emoji. These people are sharing sensitive information via text message and are reacting like the friend chat just decided where to go eat for dinner. Nadine appears to be the middleman between Senator Menendez and Will Hana, who in turn is a middleman for the Egyptian government. But Hana's businesses at the time were not doing well. And to this point, he had not paid out several of the payments that he had promised to Nadine for her assistance and access to Senator Menendez. Nadine was not happy about this arrangement, as seen in her text messages from 2019. I have been so upset all morning. Will left for Egypt yesterday, supposedly, and now he thinks he's king of the world and has both countries wrapped around his pinky. I really hope they replace him. To be clear, Nadine is not upset about her role in trading information. She does not seem to be bothered about her role in a possible government conspiracy. Nadine is upset that she is not getting her promised cut and is hoping that the Egyptian government will put in a new lackey who can pay her out on time. Well, wouldn't you know it, in 2019, Will Hana receives an exclusive right from the Egyptian government, giving him a monopoly on the US export of all halal foods, making him the only business in the United States that can do that very lucrative business. Now, this is all besides the fact that Hana has never once worked in halal certification, and his businesses have nothing to do with it. I wonder why the Egyptian government would find it important for Will Hana to have a disposable set of income that is freely flowing. Shortly following Hana's monopoly, another text sent from Nadine. Seems like halal went through. It might be a fantastic 2019 all the way around. Soon after that, Nadine forms an LLC and sends this message to Hana. Every time I'm a middle person for a deal, I'm asking to get paid, and this is my consulting company. These text messages were deleted off their phones and were only retrieved through federal investigations. But the gall of these people to literally spell out their crimes with just enough discretion that maybe they have some plausible deniability. Now, Hana's monopoly did not only enrich him, it also hurt US companies that previously had been exporting halal food. Now, this was not something that went past the USDA's notice. The USDA was actively trying to get Egypt to overturn this monopoly. And in May of 2019, Menendez called a high-level USDA official, telling them that they had to stop. They had to allow this monopoly to continue. The USDA official did not agree, but Hana's monopoly still stood. After this, the money to Nadine and Menendez begins flowing in. In 2019, when Nadine's house was under foreclosure, Hana's halal company issued a payment for $23,000 to get the mortgage up to date. Between September and November of 2019, Hana's halal company issued three $10,000 checks to Nadine's consulting company, even though there is no record of her doing any consulting work for the firm. Several dinners were had on Hana's dime, which just so happened to be attended by Menendez and Egyptian government officials. In 2021, 2 high-end exercise bikes and an air purifier, allegedly worth thousands of dollars, was purchased by Hana's company and delivered to the Menendez home. I mean, that's clearly for consulting. 2 days after orchestrating a meeting between Menendez and government officials, Menendez purchased 22 one-ounce gold bars, worth at the time $1,800 each. We know from the searches that happened on Menendez's home, he was at least in possession of 2 of these bars. Also, he Googled, at the time that he was meeting with Hana, how much does a 1-ounce gold bar cost? Since 2018, Nadine Menendez and Will Hana have organized backroom dealings between the Egyptian government and Bob Menendez. These alleged deals made sure that aid money was falling into the right pockets in the Egyptian government. Arms deals and favorable treatment were always one phone call away. And in exchange, Menendez received hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, gold, and gifts. Oh, and let's not forget the $60,000 Mercedes convertible purchased from Hana's company for Nadine Menendez. A convertible that was purchased, allegedly, after Menendez interfered in a New Jersey investigation into one of Hana's business partners. One of his business partners who just so happened to help facilitate the fund transfers to Menendez. Senator Menendez has pleaded not guilty to the charges of corruption, racketeering, and fraud. When asked about the cash and gold that was found on his residence, he said he doesn't trust banks. Fair enough. And that he likes to keep the cash on hand because his parents were from Cuba, and he wants to make sure he's ready for anything. I know a lot of people that do not trust banks and like to keep money under their mattresses. Now, I don't know a lot of people that like to hide their rainy day fund in various envelopes hidden in embroidered jackets. I also don't know a lot of people who like to keep gold bars around, the same gold bars that were procured by Will Hana. Menendez is being accused of some very serious crimes. These crimes go far beyond the political scandals that we have all sadly become so used to. He is accused of working through back channels with a foreign government to enrich that government and himself. I personally would be very surprised if he was not found guilty of these charges. Once again, just my opinion. But what might be even more surprising is that a majority of the Democrats in Congress are not calling for his resignation. There seems to be an attitude of just keep him in the back and don't let him talk and it'll all work itself out. This is why people believe the government is corrupt. You cannot just call out corruption when it is happening by your adversaries. If Democrats are going to run as the adults in the room who are going to steer our government onto the right course, they need to start acting like it. Thank you so much for watching this far. I know this video is dense and a little long. I will link the indictment documents below. It is the source of all of my information. And if you like this content, or you want to see more about Bob Menendez, or honestly, you just are feeling nice, please give me a like and subscribe below. I really appreciate it. I am brand new to YouTube, and we all know how much that helps the algorithm. So that's it. That is the Bob Menendez scandal. These are details that I haven't seen floating anywhere else, so I really hope you appreciate them. Thank you again, and I will see you when the news gets good.